This is the story of legendary pilot Bob Hoover, one of the most respected aviators of his generation. After serving in World War II and building a reputation as an extraordinary pilot, Hoover was performing a routine flight when disaster struck. Shortly after takeoff, both engines suddenly lost power, without warning, without explanation. Inside the aircraft, Hoover and the two people flying with him knew they were in serious trouble. On the ground, people watched helplessly as the airplane began losing altitude. It looked like a tragedy waiting to happen. But thanks to years of experience, quick thinking, and incredible skill, Hoover managed to keep the aircraft under control and pull off an emergency landing that most people would thought was impossible. When the plane finally came to a stop, he stepped out, grateful to be alive. Then he did what any great people would do. He went looking for the cause. After inspecting the aircraft, the answer became clear. The plane had been fueled with jet fuel instead of aviation gasoline, a simple mistake, one that almost cost three people their lives. Hoover immediately asked to see the mechanic responsible. By the time the mechanic arrived, he was devastated. He knew exactly what had happened. He expected to be yelled at, punished, maybe even fired. Instead, Hoover walked up to him, placed a hand on his shoulder, and said something the mechanic would never forget. To show you that I'm completely confident this will never happen again, tomorrow I want you to service my P 51. Think about that for a second. The man who had almost gotten him killed wasn't met with humiliation, he was met with trust. And according to the story, the mechanic never made that mistake again for the rest of his career. Hey, welcome back. My name is Victor Canchola and I'm glad you're here. Today's video is actually a continuation of a video I uploaded a month ago. So if you haven't seen that yet, I recommend checking it out either before this one or after you're done here. They will make a lot more sense together. Both videos are based on one of my favorite books, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'm adding my own perspective, but if you're curious, I definitely recommend reading the book yourself. So let's get into today's topic. The story you just heard isn't just an interesting story, it actually connects directly to what we talked about in the last video. Last time we explored why criticizing people rarely changes their behavior. When people feel attacked, their first instinct usually isn't to reflect, it's to defend themselves, to justify their actions, to explain why they weren't really at fault, and that's just human nature. So, if criticism usually pushes people away instead of helping them grow, what's the alternative? How do you actually influence people in a positive way? The answer starts with empathy, with understanding where someone else is coming from before trying to correct them. And that story about the pilot gives us the perfect bridge into today's lesson, because today we're talking about what I believe is one of the biggest secrets to building better relationships with other people. Maybe you have struggled in the past to get people to understand you or follow your advice. Maybe you felt like no matter what you say, you just can't influence people the way you would like to. And if that's you, here's something worth remembering. The only way to truly get someone to do something is for them to genuinely want to do it. Sure, you can force people, you can pressure them, but those methods won't put anyone on your side, and sooner or later they will create even bigger problems. A much better approach is to appeal to something every human being wants. To feel important, let me explain. Nobody likes feeling useless or incapable. It's the opposite. We all like feeling like we matter, like we are valuable, like we have something meaningful to contribute. And if you can genuinely make someone feel that way, you will naturally motivate them. Because feeling appreciated is incredibly rewarding to the human brain. Human beings naturally seek recognition. You can see it throughout history. Kings wanted to be addressed as Your Majesty. Shakespeare himself wanted to secure a noble title. Wanting recognition isn't strange, it's human. Even today, you'll see wealthy people donate millions to hospitals or universities, hoping a building will one day carry their name. Sometimes that's generosity, and sometimes it's also the desire to leave a legacy and feel important. And there's even a darker side to this. Some people who lose touch with reality create worlds in their own minds where they are finally important because they never felt that way in real life. It's sad, but it's real. Now think about what this means for ordinary people like you and me. Think about how powerful it feels when someone genuinely believes in you, when people appreciate what you do, and when they see you as valuable. Once you earn that kind of respect, you'll naturally want to keep acting in ways that live up to that reputation. That's why, if you want to influence people, you should focus on encouraging them. Show appreciation, give sincere recognition, and help people to see that what they are doing matters, that their work has a purpose, that they are making a real contribution. On the other hand, think about a workplace where everyone hates being there. You have that one boss who's constantly criticizing people and making them feel small. Now compare that to a workplace where you are appreciated, respected, and trusted. Which environment would make you want to do your best? Exactly. In the first one, most people would do the bare minimum until they can leave. In the second one, they will often give their best willingly. And this principle doesn't only apply to leadership or the workplace. You can use it in almost every relationship you have, with your friends, your family, your coworkers, even when you're asking someone for a favor. If you want to influence people in a positive way, help them feel that what they are doing matters. Help them see the value they bring. Help them feel useful. That means you'll have to spend a lot more time looking for people's strengths than pointing out their flaws. Be generous with sincere praise. Let people know when you appreciate something they've done for you. Don't take kindness for granted. Point out the good you see in people whether they're in the room or not. Always try to find something worth appreciating. Now, I'm not telling you to become Mr. Sunshine or walk around acting like a Teletubby. I'm just saying be thoughtful. People value that a lot more than we sometimes realize. Think about how many people go through life without anyone congratulating them, without anyone recognizing their effort, without anyone noticing the things they do well. Over time, that slowly wears people down. Maybe you've even felt that way yourself. If you have, then you already know how powerful genuine appreciation can be. Sometimes a few honest words can completely change someone's confidence. They can stay with a person for years. Sometimes they can even change the direction of someone's life. Now, maybe you're thinking, isn't this just manipulation? Won't smart people see right through it? I don't think so. Because that's not what we're talking about. There's a huge difference between appreciation and flattery. One is sincere, the other isn't. Flattery is cheap. Most of the time, it's just saying what someone wants to hear. Real appreciation is different. In fact, giving a genuine compliment is harder than most people think, because for a moment you have to stop thinking about yourself and start paying attention to someone else. You have to put your ego aside. Sometimes we even make this mistake with the people closest to us. We stop noticing the good things our family does because we've gotten used to them. We've we take them for granted. And one of the saddest examples of this is children who spend years looking for their parents' approval but rarely hear, I'm proud of you. So here's my invitation to you: show people your gratitude, do good things for others. Let people know that what they do matters to you, that you genuinely appreciate their effort. Recognition matters, so whenever you have the opportunity to be kind, take it. Just make sure you're honest. Always let your appreciation be genuine. If you made it this far, thank you. I really appreciate you spending part of your day with me. I'll keep making videos about building better relationships, understanding people, and sharing the ideas that have helped me see the world a little differently. And if that's something you're interested in, I'd love to have you around. Feel free to check my other videos, both in English and Spanish, amigo. And you can also find me on social media if you like to keep the conversation going. So, tiki tiki, these kind of topics and I love random introspective thoughts are honestly some of my favorite things to talk about. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. So take care, my friend. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.